Good morning, everyone. And I just kicked my camera. Let me see if I can. Look at that. No hands, and I can shake it. Shake it. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you're doing fantastic, guys. Hopefully are having a fantastic day. Yesterday, very sorry, time went by. I need to assemble some furniture for my wife. Well, if you didn't know, we're just married. And she's moving in still, passing her stuff here, crossing her stuff into the house. And well, we need some new furniture. So I'll need to do my husband job and get it done. And when I realized, well, the time went flying. So very sorry for yesterday. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you guys being here. Really enjoy you guys. And let's get started with you guys because you guys are fantastic. All right, so let's check out the chat, and we have KDGT. What's up, KDGT? Welcome, brother. First one in here in Trading Tuition. Bingo, bango. What's up? Almost right. He says, absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Alexandra G, what's up? Well, Alexandra GG, how's it going? Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time here with me. Weeks 589. What's up? What's up? Welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. JV, welcome, my friend. Welcome. Great to have you around. And of course, Trading Tuition. Double shout out. What's up, brother? Nice to have you around, my friend. Nice to have you around. Really appreciate it. All right. So, well, we need to be honest. 2 hits from testing the waters, quarter of an entry. That's all right. We're getting somewhere, for example, in Jupiter, almost there for a possible short. And well, we do have a couple of straights. Let's get it. Let's go to just. Hey, by the way, now you can see the actual green on my shirt. Look at that. Oh, by the way, this is Quetzalcoatl. This is one of our ancient gods in Tenochtitlan. Well, not Tenochtitlan, sorry, my bad. On Yucatan Peninsula. It is a feathered snake. All right, but other than that, let's go and get it. There we go. Welcome, guys. These are the charts. Let's get started with the meme coins, of course, because it seems like we might have a little bit of a shaky weekend. What we are right back here. Look at that. We were expecting that flip of the ribbon here. We had that perfect flip of the ribbon. But guess what? By the way, just in case you took down some of those because they weren't hitting that late at night. Look at that. For example, this one happened at 22 hours for me. So remember, right now it's 6:17 p.m. my time. So if you are on, what is it, MST, Mountain Standard, or even CST is 1 hour after or earlier. So if you are on MST, we might still have in the same synchronized. All right, but other than that, nothing quite like it could. Shitcoin during a market pump. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. You feel me. You feel me. That's cool. See, guys. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Let's play Dig Dog. By the way, username. Let's settle down this weekend. Let me know what are we going to be playing. Let me know what are we going to be playing because let me see. You know, let me prepare because I don't have my credentials here. I'm going to sign into what is it? Oh man, what's the name of this thing? Xbox Live. So I think that would be a good platform. I mean, if you have any other request, let me know. But if not, we can do I don't know, Xbox Live, and also I could be giving away 1 month free of Xbox Live. It's just gonna buy it from my money and give it away. Maybe where is it gonna be a good day? Maybe we can do it on tomorrow. Saturday. Sorry, tomorrow Friday. All right, so let's do that. But other than that, let me know what games are we gonna be playing. Let's set up a live session in the Discord and let's retransmit that maybe over YouTube. I think that'll be fun because I owe you that gaming weekend. I'm not forgetting. I'm not letting it go. I promise. It's a promise. So XBL is weak. What? PS4, man. I've never played. Well, I've never played PS4. Like I've never owned it. Right? Just maybe 1 or 2 games. I did own a hold on, come on, a Vita, yeah, a PS Vita, and I love that thing, man. I loved it, like a lot. Shooting games, fantastic. That was Killzone. I do remember. All right, but let's get to the trading. I'm gonna keep reading you guys, but I'm gonna be dividing a couple of stuff in here. Let's see. I could buy an Xbox if we are gonna get real with. Let's first get started with the past. All right. Let's first get started with the past. I want for this to become something like cool. I think that would be fantastic. I don't know. But in the meantime, let's not like completely jump investing into it, because if we're gonna be doing this, I'm absolutely gonna get a huge TV and an Xbox. All right, so yeah. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on in here. We're bouncing off the dynamic reactor as we were expecting. Actually, we hit it right here. Where are you, Jupiter? Right here, 48, 59, 48. 59, there we, somewhere around here, all right, somewhere around here. Basically, we were going for that that area right here. We bounced, perfect. We hit it off in here. We coming back down, almost at that support line, but we created that higher low. That is fantastic. Now we're expecting a higher high. Perfect. We are right there. What should we be looking into? Well, at this point, we're at resistance. We don't buy resistances, all right? We don't buy resistances. Why? Because the resistance is to come back down lower. Let's bring up our professional trend line. Not hand-free, hand-drawn trend lines. Let's do a little bit more like optimized one. There we go. I think that looks nice. All right. Let's prolong it all the way here. And of course, right-click and lock it. So let's go back into the classes that we learned, right? The 0 to hero classes. And right now, I want to measure how high could we be going. I see Retro Mike. Hey, what's up, buddy? Xbox font. Absolutely, brother. That is fantastic. Thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate it. All right, let's go then for the Xbox thing. Giving away 1 month of free Xbox. So if you have a PC, you can actually do it on your phone. If you have Android, I don't know if what is it? Let me get it. Let me show you guys. So I don't know if iPhones can do it, but you can absolutely do it on Android. There is my Xbox stuff. Oh, come on. And for some reason it won't let me. There it is. Here, green ones. I don't know which one. Yeah, that one's. I have 3 of those. So Game Pass. That is pretty cheap, to be honest, and you get a lot of things there. All right, so I think that would be the way to go. But thank you, Retro Mike. Really appreciate it, my friend. That is fantastic. Let me like the heck out of that. Perfect. All right, so let's remember what we learned, right? What chapter are we talking about? Fibonacci retracement. All right, so in Fibonacci retracement, let's first figure out which retracement we're going to be looking into. The retracement that we're going to be going for, it is the retracement out of this trend. So if this trend is going down, the retracement should be going up. All right, so we're going to be using 2. First one is going to be this one, this big one. So to get started, we're going to click the top. Oh, come on, not that one, of course. Let's see, what is it? Fibonacci. Come on, Fibo. There it is. The closest that we can to the top. Here we go. And then the unknown point, or the estimate point right here at the bottom. All right. So at this point, we can see we have a little bit more things at the bottom. Let's see. We have them. Come on. Oh, well, they're turned off, but whatever. And the point is that right here, we are retracing back from 0 to how much percentage, all right? So the retracement is to the upside in this case. So the first area that I like is somewhere in between the 30%-ish, the 33%-ish. Right now we are at 38. That is an important area to bounce from. So what could we be maybe looking at a bounce back to the 23%, the 236 Fibonacci level. That will actually make sense to hit into, look at that, the trend line. Let's see if we have the means to do that, right? Like, I mean, other than the dynamic reactor, Because looking at the dynamic reactor, we are trying to pierce that, all right? Not only that, we're constantly being above. And what had happened once we break above, or like when we break above, look at that. Breakout retest, yes, a little bit of a weakness in here, right? Weakness. And then look at that, as we kept above that zero line, we did a fantastic move to the upside. So I think this is going to be worth it, right? So considering that we are above the zero line, we have completed that flip of the ribbon above that zero line, all right? To consider, well, yes, we could be retracing here, right? But we can still pushing to the upside. And I think that's what we're going to be seeing. So perspective number one, let's go for a little shorty here. We are in resistance, but only if we have something else than the dynamic reactor. Because as we have seen, look at that dynamic reactor, it's very, very, very thin. It's not that it's flimsy, but the area of resistance in there, the area of volume allocation is just too small, right? So it might be easy to become, or to create a little bit of that FOMO. Let's see. I have all Apple stuff. Don't really play games, so I'm screwed either way. No, but you can do... No, absolutely not. On Safari, or if you download Google Chrome, KDGT, you can just use the... what is it? The Xbox Game Pass site and play from your computer. So that'll be easy for you to get on any laptop, PC, or Mac, desktop Mac. Or I think that you can still do it on your Apple phone. I think that you can, not 100% sure. So don't take me on the Apple, on the iPhone thing. Mike Volmer, what's up, brother? Welcome. Wick's wife, what's up? Hey, Joe, what's up? Who else we have here? Or what else are we saying here? Verify on that Molly. When is it hits? I don't know, man. New Earth, Gordon, what's up? What's it going on? Welcome. Dang, all right, sweet. That'll be fantastic. Yeah, KTGT. So give it, check it out, and let me know. And that way, maybe we can synchronize, right, in some games. The only thing is that depending on what games are offered in Game Pass, we might be constrained to just those games, right? Because they don't have the full library. Like, but for seasons, they change the games for seasons. But I think that wouldn't be an issue. All right. Hi, Alexander. Hi, OC. Hey, New Earth. Gordon. Welcome, my friend. All right. So, let's see if we have some order blocks that might be that we could be rejecting out of that zone. Or at this point, I'm just looking if my in my prediction, like just the dynamic reactor bounce to the downside, might still hold some real value, right? Not value, but real proof of concept. So right here, let's see, do we have any resistance? Yes, we have it slightly above of the area that I'm looking at. That is fine. Our stop loss could compensate that. All right, so that little wiggle room. Do I have anything else above on that around that area? Not in here, and in here, not really, other than I can work with this. All right, smart money entry. Let's start to mark that smart money entry right there, because I want to see how it pairs with their resistance. Perfect. They are pairing very nice. Let's see. Do I have anything else in that zone? Not really. I really wanted to have an order block in here. I really was desiring to have an order block in here. It's not there. That is fine. Well, it's not going to be as strong as I wanted to, but why not? I think it's time that, we can take that risk. So I'm going to set an alert in here. I think we can still go a little higher. Let's go for that alert. Right, where is it? And then I'm going to be adjusting my short position up and down a little bit within this box. But at this point, I'm going to aim at the top. All right. And as soon as my alerts start hitting, and let me just push a little bit lower, I'm going to be reading my RSI primed. And here is the trick. I'm seeing right now, look at here, and let's make this big. Let's make this a case of study, because it'll actually happen again. So look at this. Can we really extract a flip of the ribbon here? Sort of. My flip of the ribbon would have been here, but then it flat out. So the actual flip of the ribbon ended up being there. So which one you take out of the two, right? Because when you are here, you need to decide whether you're going to be taking it right now or just give it a little bit more time to actually take the trade, right? So we're not having a V-shaped flip of the ribbon. We're having more like a flat out, spread out flip of the ribbon, and that has to do with the momentum, all right? So let's see how that played out, because if I would have taken, there we go, if I would have taken the very first flip of the ribbon that I could acknowledge in here, so that would have been somewhere around here, well, I could still go lower and then get my next flip of the ribbon somewhere around here, which again, the price still went a little lower, right? And then right after breaking that compression zone, and as I start seeing some reversal here, look at that, that when we picked up some momentum. Remember, your oscillator is not the only tool that you're using, but you're using it to predict direction and also reversals. So I think the same thing is happening here. Look at how flat-ish we're having that flip of the ribbon, which is not a flip of the ribbon just now. It is just like we're losing that momentum, but we're just not losing it as I would like to see, like a V-shape losing it, right? We are a little bit flattish in here, right? I think that we can do something like that, which I've seen before. Look at this area, right? It looks like this, and then we have, you know, like that peak. Let's see what happened in here, right there, at the end of the slope, all right? Let's just compare what happened here. One wick more, look at that, big wick, and then a reversal. What do we think that could happen here? That's what I'm aiming high. I'm aiming high, and then my stop loss is going to be right here at the next Fibonacci level right there, which is the 0.5, and give myself a little bit wiggle room. But look at that wiggle room. It's not as the one that we learned to do, right? It's not the average candle size. In this case, I want to consider a little bit more of a buffering zone. All right. Well, then, what am I going to be aiming to? The 236, and as long as I'm above 1, that is considered good to go. All right. So I think that is it right now. WWF, what's up, JR? Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for joining, brother. So down to 15 trades. What? KTC, I'm getting better. Love it. All right. So at this point, we have a trade here. How much are we going to be putting here or setting up into this trade? I'm going to go with, again, as always, 1 quarter for now. I haven't seen a proper direction being taken by Bitcoin, so I don't really want to jump into an undecisive movement. I mean, undecisive, quote unquote, because, I mean, we have a higher high and a higher low and a higher high. Again, so based on structure, the next movement should be a higher low, all right, or a flag. So if we flag out in here, well, then I'm still going to be entering somewhere around here for the long entry. If not, again, I'm looking at this area to long it. So let's go like this, all right? Let me add a long position somewhere around here. And this is going to be a slightly overlap. My stop loss below the previous low and give myself a little bit of space. And that will be it. And right here, let me just get rid of this thing and place a proper. Let's do that for like that. I think that is a little bit more understandable, isn't it? All right. So, by the way, guys, there's 42 viewers. Thank you so much for being here. And really quick, click that like button. It really helps with the algorithm. Go ahead. It is completely free. I guarantee you. Well, I cannot guarantee that. I don't know. Maybe you might get some fees out of it. I don't know. Maybe. How the world is going right now, maybe they start charging you when you even breathe. I don't know. I've heard that there's a TV license on the UK. Let me know. Let me know how true is that. So did they charge you to use your TV? Come on, really? Not sure. I really want to answer for that. Let me know. I don't know if it's people trolling on the internet or is it really a license that could, I mean, that an inspector goes to your house just to see if you have a TV. So let me know that. All right. So far we have it right here. Our alert has not yet changed. we are all the way for the same plan. Remember, we're going to be looking at this point at our RSI prime. So let's bring up the three of the indicators. And for now, let's just keep the price action up in there, just a little bit there in there, right? And what I want to go for, it is the flat zones, all right? So how do we measure a Y? I'm going to be looking at my RSI prime. Look at my RSI prime. Where did I start having some tiny candles? I start having some tiny candles all through this area, starting from here, ending up in here. The tiniest of them all being this one right there. So you see how the window of error gets smaller? So we have the primary oscillator, which in this case it's both or either our linear regression oscillator, being this one right down here, or we can have our prime oscillator pro, or even our prime oscillator plus, but also we narrow down that possibility looking at the RSI prime. I have no idea how to read that username. Q George Torget. What? What am I reading there? Pro BDC, welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for jumping in here into the chat. All right. So other than that, let's apply the same stuff in here. What are we going for? Well, tiny candles at the top. All right. So far, do we have a tiny candle? Not really. But remember, that can change from one candle to another, like this. All right. So, and like that. All right, so that's what I'm going to be looking for. Tiny candles in here, right there. And I'm going to be equaling this to RSI prime, just for reference. All right, so far, I think Jupiter has been knocked out of existence for now. And let's jump into the next one. Let's get started with my alerts. So we have Ethereum here. Ethereum, look at that. Very nice breakout. Look at that. We were looking for a breakout retest like this, but instead of going lower, well, what we had it here, and this was a fantastic setup. Not only we have our, look at that, I love when things just pair like perfectly, our diamond right here. Look at that, our diamond, next candle, opening your long at your support. And not only we had a support on the dynamic reactor, we also had, there we go, right here. Oh, come on. Smart money entry. Where are you? Where are you? Right there. And then what else do we have in here? A predictive range 1, predictive range 2. 2 predictive ranges, calling out that beautiful bottom in here. So we have our peak performance bouncing off, confirmation, off we go. Where to the resistance. On that resistance, where we didn't have that peak performance diamond, but other than that, well, we did have right here a final confirmation of a reversal diamond. Went all the way up, back down, almost to zero, gained some strength right here. Secondary entry, there we go, as we have BOS. If you didn't take this one, that is fine. I didn't also. All right, but that is, I mean, that we have traded kind of BOS, but that is all right. At this point, well, we have a beautiful long, already long closed, and well, then we're aiming to keep moving upwards. At this point, the only thing that we can do is wait for a flag out, something like this, or even something like that. And then take a look at where our next blue line is going to be. What am I talking about? Well, basically, by the way, we already have it. So we have our predictive ranges in here. Let me clear this up. We have our predictive ranges in here. And when we break the purple line, we almost immediately go find the blue line. Look at that. Breaking the purple line. And almost immediately going to find the blue line. Can we go hit something else in the meantime? Yes, we can. Where is our blue line? It is the center. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, well, then that means This and this aren't matched, and this is our blue line. So we most likely could be going right here. Then when we get there, we're gonna add an alert. Of course, we're gonna be adding an alert in here. There we go, right on spot. We're gonna be looking for our peak performance diamond. We are on areas that we can absolutely get that peak performance. On that peak performance, depending on how Bitcoin, and I would like to say Ethereum, but we are on Ethereum, how Bitcoin is doing, we're gonna be looking for a re-entry or a reversal. What are the characteristics that we're gonna be looking for? If we are seeing flag out, first thing that we're gonna be going for is the 33 retracement. So let's add our, let me just get rid of this. Let's clear this up. Sorry about that. Let's add our Fibonacci tool. So we want to see the retracement up. Although, by the way, we already have broken it because we could be measuring from bottom to top. Here it is. And we are on 100%. So how maybe we can predict this? Well, we can do some extensions. But other than that, let's see how low could we go out of this projected top. All right, at this point, we're on a speculation point. So we're going to be grabbing the known point and then the speculation point all the way up here. All right. And we're going to be looking for that 33% retracement or whatever is closest to it. In this case, the 23 and the 38. So in the middle, somewhere around here, we're going to have the 33%. So when we get in here, we could be looking for the first retracements to support and then maybe having a little flag like this. Look at how this one played out. And we're going to be taking advantage of that because look at that. We hit it, we bounce. We hit it, we bounce. So we're going to be doing something like this. All right. We're going to be applying the same thing. So looking for the 236 and the 38% retracement. Well, I rather look for that 33.333% retracement. It's a little bit easier for me or for my brain. All right, so far, let's add that alert also right here. And of course, now that'll be basically just fine. So this is where we're going to be playing out. If we start making a downwards movement, first, we do have enough of a movement here to consider this a bull flag. So we're just going to be playing out as it breaks out. But if we make something like a double top, we're going to be looking for the neckline at 236. All right. And if we lose a 236, looking at the 0.5 for breakout retest continuation to the golden pocket. I know it's a little messy, but I think Ethereum, we might be able to catch not only short, but also have a couple of trades like a short, long, short, or short, long, long, if that makes sense. So I think they will be a great subject of study, of out of action in here, Ethereum. All right, let's go to Uniswap. We were talking about Uniswap. We are hitting alert right now, and oh, somebody is at my doorstep. All right, maybe my wife is gonna get it. Hopefully she does. So a new package has arrived. Awesome. We'll see. She'll let me know what she asked in behalf of us all. So, all right. So we're coming here. Are we gonna be taking this short? No. Is it a great area to take a short? Yes, it is. But until let me just get rid of this little shortly stuff. Until we're not topping, and we are not. We are not. Look at that. We went down. We're coming back with some support in here. Sorry, some strength. And look at that strength in here. We're not shorting this. I mean, if something so far, we're gonna be looking for a retracement for breakout continuation. So right here. Oh, one second. Do you wanna? Okay, guys, so sorry. She's not attending to the door. I don't know where she's at. Give me 1 second. I need to go get the package at my doorstep. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. Well, seems like I was wrong. She did got it. All right, so let's continue. Sorry for that. At this point, what are we going to be doing here? Just waiting. Is it a good area to take the short? Again, as the area is, yes, it is a good area. But we just don't have the signal here. All right, so yes, trade tuition. Actually, I actually lost my breath, man. I just took like 4 steps. I still need to do some more cardio in the gym. All right, so what are we going to do here? Breakout. Here we go. Coming back down here, looking for maybe a re-entry. We might be able to have some peak performance. I believe that we could get a divergence, but to get a divergence here, we need a low mountain here in a bigger price action. All right, so let's keep an eye on Uniswap. I think we can still get it. Okay, I think we can still get it. Man, it's been so slow of a week. I'm pulling my hair out, man, for real. I thought that we were gonna be taking some profits today. Well, we did, but I mean, not as many as I was hoping for. It's been a little bit of a slow week for me, but that is fine. All right, so far, right here, going for that resistance, gonna be looking for that retracement. If we get acceptance back inside this trend line, and let's see if I can fix that trend line to match this stopping here, which I think I have. Let's just lock this. Let's just clear this up. There we go. Look at that. We are on resistance, but we still don't see a reversal. I'm looking for that possible reversal. Let's bring up our RSI prime, and I don't have tiny candles. All right, so not quite there yet. When I have a tiny candle like this, when I have a tiny candle like this, when I have like tiny candle like that, I'm gonna be committing to that entry. So far, let's add our next alert where we have our next smart money entry right here, somewhere around, what is it, 10.86. And just in case we kind of get stuck in here, because look at the disparity that we have here. Look at that. So we're seeing that price action being fought in this area. So we're gonna be adding another setup here. You know what? I'm seeing that we're fighting over this zone. Let's go for the short. All right. Give me 1 second. I need to get my credentials safely open. And oh, you can see it on the chat. Let me just get rid of that. All right. All right. Perfect. And let's do. Let me update that in a second here. All right, perfect. All right, perfect. I think we got it. Let's aim to this area right here. Our stop loss will be at the top of this area. Give ourselves a little bit of that space to here. Let's add it a little bit more like that. And, you know, well, I have my other one. So, no, you know what? Let's go here to this one. I'm still below once. Yeah, so, don't move out of my, on me. So this is not already have entered, but whatever. Let's do it small. Let's go for a small movement here, a little bit more like this, and maybe let's protect that. Let's do it like this. All right, one, perfect, one. All right, I'm suffering here, man. This is just not well. I can divide it, but I'm already gonna be jumping in with a quarter. I mean, already have jumping in with a quarter, but. Let's keep it as is. Let's keep it as is. All right. So we already have two scenarios here. Let me move this to take profits, or let's move this to get stopped out, and we'll continue on this one Alright, so I think we might be able to have this based on this candle that I have in here. Haven't closed already, but I think based on how we're seeing that this period, like the candles on decision, that is to be expected in this area. Well then, that really keeping the heads up in there. Alright, so far, let's take a look at something else. Let's go for XRP. XRP had a fantastic moving here. Look at that, some tiny candles coming back down here. Well, we had another setup here, 318. We hit it right here as where we going above this area. It played out very, very nicely as we were expecting, hitting this stuff. Not going as high as I would love it to, but look at that. We have, where's my pen? My brush, here it is. We have this area of uncertainty, bouncing off, breaking back up, finding some. There it is, right here. We're already pointing up. This is your entry. This was your entry. And then immediately up we go to TP number 1 and TP number 2. Where we have TP number 1, 2, and 3 all the way in there. Finding or looking for a short, not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. RSI Prime still have a little bit of a what is it? Fuel. But we're going to be analyzing this as we get to this area. Why? Because we have another area of disparity here. So maybe, and just maybe, I can go and look at that. What am I suffering? Let's go for the Fibonacci. So at the top, at the bottom, let's extend it. Let's see, we're on the golden pocket. Next up, platinum pocket. So let's go for not an open short. I don't want to call an open short, but let's go for that platinum pocket a little bit lower on the predictive range. Stop loss right here at somewhere around, what is it, 356, and aiming back all the way to where I believe dynamic vector is going to be, somewhere around 38, 33, or a little bit higher, somewhere around here, 40% retracement. But yeah, we already have this one on place. Again, I'm not going to be taking it unless I have some tiny candles on the RSI. So let's place it there, RSI. There we go. All right, guys. So far, let's leave it as is. Tomorrow, we're going to be taking a look at what's going to be going for the rest of the week. So far, let's just take a quick picture or perspective of what's going on. In fact, look at that. Beautiful. We have not exactly the same thing that we were expecting right here. And then coming up to this area of resistance. Well, one of those two, plan B, actually played out very nicely on Link. Let's take a look at ADA. More of the same. Going up, down, breakout, retest, coming up above. Pingu, by the way, Pingu, this is the one that we should be already being on profits and taking that profits. Our entry not only played out very, very, very nicely, didn't even went back to our entry point. So we're still on that entry. And by the way, I'm keeping this short. I think we're gonna nail that, and that is because we are very overextended here. Look at that. We have no volume at this point, and despite we have a little bit of strength, how much would that strength be? I don't think that we're gonna be getting all the way up to 0.42. We should be seeing, but so far we have an ongoing long and a possible short on Pengu. All right. Other than that, that's all of the trades that we have so far. Let's leave the rest for tomorrow morning. So do not miss the morning market report because tomorrow I'm going to be looking for another set of entries. And night we trade with OC. We're going to be most likely taking some profits. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys.